we start the show right now with one EP Angela. Welcome back, EP Angela. We'll see if she speaks up into the mic, stares straight forward at the camera to look at you folks. Angela, we'll get into football talk in a minute, but the Diddy documentary on Netflix, and Netflix is going to be something that we're going to be talking about with Travis as we go. This documentary, Sean Combs' Reckoning, it was produced by 50 Cent. The rivalry and relationship between Diddy and 50 was contentious for a long time. So a lot of people had doubts about how this documentary was going to go, if it was just going to be petty shots at Diddy and not actually focusing on the victims, the alleged victims in, all of his cases and everything that went on throughout his career. And plus you have plenty of other documentaries on ID and Max and everything that have already touched this subject. But we watched this documentary. We watched the entire 4-part thing. I thought it was an incredible experience. I learned a lot about Diddy's history and a lot about everything in his career, about these cases that I didn't already know. And as a big hip-hop head, too, a lot of things in the history of the industry that I didn't realize. So I wanted to get your take as our resident true crime junkie and our true crime addict around here, and pop culture addict. How did you like this documentary? How did you feel about the series? What did you take from it?
I thought it was good. I don't really know a lot about Diddy and what his history was. So, all I know is now and what he's done now, and probably is not like a big pop person maybe, because I didn't really know too much about him before this, and all the different types of cocaine he did.
There's a lot.
Pink, purple. I only remember those colors, but it was interesting learning about how much he took from people. And it feels like no matter how much he took from people would always just do whatever he says. And it's how can one person have that much power? Money talks, but you would think that one episode, I think it was the last one, with that guy, he made that album, the Love album.
Oh, Lil
Rod.
Lil Rod.
And he made that album, and he didn't get paid. I think he said till this day he hasn't gotten paid. And it's but I don't think he paid a lot of people in general. So it's how do people still I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, that's just going off of what you're saying too, money and fame and power just corrupts and just blinds people, right? Because even with Lil Rod, he's describing how spending all this time at Diddy's island studio or whatever.
Oh yeah, didn't he say he got drugged?
Yeah, he would get drugged, and he would party with Diddy and all the women all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd wake up, he said some mornings he'd wake up with all these different women he had no idea in his bed. Sometimes he'd wake up with Diddy in his bed.
And men.
Yeah,
and other men.
Other men, and Diddy especially. And he would say, I was sore and I wasn't sure why I was so sore.
I don't...
Brother, you know why you're so sore. The money's making you just conveniently try to gloss over this stuff, and that's wild to me.
That's you know why?
Right.
Why? I wouldn't like to be woken up somewhere when I don't know who I'm with, like, what, every day?
Right.
I don't know if he said every day. We'll go every weekend. We'll be nice.
Yeah.
It was probably every day. But I wouldn't want to wake up to somebody like all these different women, because you don't know what they have.
Hell no.
You don't know what Diddy has. And you don't know what half of these men are. Half of these people you feel like aren't even clean.
Right.
So it's like you probably could have gotten something from it. But I feel like all these people who have spoken out are people who are tired of him and not, or just like fed up. They're like, oh, I didn't get paid. But I don't want to say it, but I feel like if he did get paid, he probably wouldn't have been in the documentary.
No. I think with this thing, like, what I really did enjoy with the doc was how we did get to learn and dive into a lot of the, the hip hop industry parts of it. And,
with Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah, Tupac and Biggie and, Diddy's potential involvement with their deaths, which was almost certain that he was involved in those deaths. And, between that, I didn't know the stuff. I remember Diddy Dirty Money because I remember coming home and how huge that song was, or Good Morning, and then wondered, like, what the hell ever happened to that? Like, whatever happened to that group? They got all these Grammy nominations, everything, and then it just didn't happen anymore. And I think one of the huge parts was I didn't know that Diddy's entire career started on literally just deaths of people with this huge event that he tried to pull off in Harlem back in the 90s, where he overhyped it and overpromoted it.
What was it, like $12 to get in?
Yeah, $12 to get in or something like that for this like this charity concert or something, and it just became way too overpacked too quickly. Bum rushed, people panicked, trampled people, and like about 9 people died. And he talks his way out of it as a young dude, as a young producer, and like it's kind of a similar line of things that we're seeing in a lot of these documentaries or cases that you follow, or just real life that you follow, when you're seeing guys like Diddy or R. Kelly, Cosby, Trump, Donald Trump himself, Charlie Sheen in his documentary, where things happen early in their careers that make them feel like they should have gotten in massive trouble for this. Whether it be the death of something, or drunkenly flying a plane, or just something that they're scared they're going to get in trouble for, and then it didn't happen. And there was no accountability and no consequences, and then they feel invincible.
And that's why they feel untouchable. Yeah,
they feel untouchable, and they go forward in their lives and careers that way. And to the point where Diddy developed, and we're seeing it in this documentary, which is why I recommend it to people, because he had filmmakers follow him and thought it was a good idea.
Which is, I don't know, maybe because we're not like that, or we're also not a celebrity, but I know some celebrities, once the camera off, they want it off.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if that's like the narcissist about this guy. It's just like, I'm sorry, like, I'm like talking on the phone, like, I don't want the phone call to be recorded.
He thought that it would all be good stuff to change, the public perception of him. And instead it's showing him literally calling himself the Son of God.
I think that's how he feels.
Yeah.
He's literal God.
I think he truly believes he's like the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, and that he cannot be touched.
I mean, 50 days in jail?
Or 50 months.
Sorry, 50 months.
So it's like 4 years.
But still, like
compared to like literally grooming people, I don't even think he got charged on the domestic violence aspects of what happened with Cassie.
Which is crazy because the video's right there. And for the people who are saying that she could have left and are like, well, she agreed to go back to that, and it's like, oh, she agreed to do all these freak offs and stuff like that. I think the video is pretty self-explanatory. She tried running, like, She tried leaving. Obviously, she didn't tell him because look what happened. He dragged her ass back to the hotel room.
Well, and I think like that video is like the perfect example about people just brushing off abuse and cycles of abuse and why it happens. Yes, it's frustrating to watch somebody continue to go back to somebody that you know is being shitty to them, that's being abusive to them, but you see it in that video right there when she tries to silently leave. No shoes on, nothing, trying to get out as quiet as possible.
I think he looked like what? He was in the shower?
Yeah, and he drags her, like she's literally leaving him, and she gets dragged back by her head.
Right.
Back to the room.
But it's like, you know, people just like to talk. Like, they don't understand because they've never dealt with somebody who, like, if I were in her shoes, I probably would have been scared, like, of him. But don't really deal with abusive men, especially men with power and money who did make your career. But in general,
yeah,
I don't know if once you, if you haven't dealt with abuse, then I think it's hard for you to be like, because it's easy for people to say, you could just leave. It's not that simple. It takes time.
Yep. It takes time and strength and bravery, and hopefully, like we always hope for any of these people. And what, people like Andre Curry were saying in the documentary. He's going to get what he's going to get. He's going to get it at some point.
Eventually,
the shit will catch up with him in some way. I mean, he's got 4 years in prison. With a lot of enemies. Like, he can't feel safe. He can't feel good.
Well, he has men in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, maybe not a lot of baby oil.
I guess you gotta improvise.
No. Well, breaking out of that documentary, want to get into some football with you. Because it's been a long season. So far, we're just now getting into week 15 in the NFL.
Did you?
And specifically, you're one that's fun to talk to here because we've got plenty of, Commanders fans. We have our Bucks perspective with Scott. We have the Jets perspective with Louise. We just had Jay Sisson on to talk us through the Packers. And it completely transformed their season. All of a sudden, they're fantastic now after the week since he's been on. So maybe this will be good for you from the Cowboys perspective because we've also had plenty of Chiefs fans over the course. We've got a Browns fan coming on to talk about them later even. You'll see about that, folks. But the Dallas Cowboys right now the Dallas Cowboys right now are 6-6-1, correct? I believe. Something like that, yeah. And then you guys will be going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who are 5-8 this week. Cowboys had an opportunity last week against the Detroit Lions to continue to push for some playoff destiny and continue to push for some playoff hope. And they just could not get it done against the Detroit Lions. Because the Lions are one of those teams that when they decide to drop 44 points on you, they're going to drop 44 points on you. And last week they decided to drop 44 points on you. What can you do? But overall, this season has been a lot better than probably most people expected based off of the start of the year where, you weren't quite sure what you had in Brian Schottenheimer. The defense was looking rough. And
no Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is traded out. And since then, the team was able to make some trades for Quinnen Williams from the New York Jets, who I've loved for a long time. Logan Wilson, linebacker from the Bengals. These two trades really kind of helped redesign and turn out the defense, make it, actually be able to get some stops in the run game. I mean, you guys were actually able to stop Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit last week, as opposed to like what the Giants did weeks before. And
so I still got 38 points from them.
We talk about the Micah Parsons trade a lot. Talk about the Micah Parsons trade so much, but I think one trade that really has kind of gone, I don't want to give Jerry Jones credit. Nobody wants to give Jerry Jones credit. But the trade for George Pickens before the start of the season has helped tremendously. And we've seen it for years that Dak Prescott thrives when he has two good receivers. He has two great ones right now in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. And Jake Ferguson, tight end. Dak has had some MVP talk throughout this season. He's not going to get in there, but overall, it's been a fun season to me from a Commanders fan perspective. As our resident Cowboys fan and Cowboys expert here, how is the season turning out for you? How are you feeling about it overall?
This is how I feel.
Just roller coaster.
Yeah. Like, you know how you start down, then you go up,
Yep.
then you go down,
Yep.
then there's like a little more hope, then you go up, then just a little, yeah. That's where I'm at. Like, I'm at a little down, but like maybe it's a little tiny hill.
I mean, that does amount to a perfectly even 500 season of literally 6-6 and 1. So
I'm still mad about that one tie. I stayed up for what? I don't want to stay up for a tie.
I would love to see the stats of how long y'all's games have been this year. Between the weather delay game to start the season, that overtime game that literally went to a tie.
We should have won that game.
A lot of time spent on the Cowboys. Let's give them more. How do you feel overall?
I don't know. I feel like it's that time where you're not. What did Zendaya say? Expect
disappointment.
Expect disappointment so you don't get disappointed. Or yeah, same thing. Sorry if I didn't say that right. But like, I'm not delusional. I don't think we're going to the Super Bowl. We might be in the playoffs, but I'm not expecting it. Or even if we do make it, you're kicked out of that first round. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they're a good team. And this is probably the best I've seen Dak play. And George Pickens has helped a lot. Since the bye week, it's been a lot better. Now they look like a solid team. Now that since the bye week and those trades, what is J McCarthy playing this week?
He is, yeah, which is up and down itself.
Right.
I mean, they're able to destroy a Commanders defense that is easy to destroy.
Well,
I don't think it'll be as easy for them against Dallas.
Right. And yeah, maybe like I said, like you said, like when you have two receivers on, like, excuse me, I probably shouldn't have ate popcorn before this. Excuse me. When you have the two receivers on there, like a target would be on CD, then you have Ferguson, and then you have I said CD Pickens. Then you can't obviously stop them all. So somebody in the field is gonna be open.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that'll be this weekend where like there are more people open, so then Dak can throw it. I mean, even the run game with Williams is pretty good too.
Yeah, Javonte Williams has been a nice surprise.
Yeah. I don't remember the other guy's name. But sometimes they go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, offense looks pretty solid. The defense looks pretty solid since the trade to get those two people. So, you know, my hopes are up. Hopefully we win. We beat the Eagles. That was a good game. I was going to turn it off because it was 0-21. I was like, there's no way we're going to win this. And then we won. So I was like, this is why you don't give up and turn off the TV. So those of you who turned off the TV for halftime, you missed it. No. The Chiefs won. I was really happy because I fell asleep for like 5 minutes because of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You eat a lot of starchy food, right? So, you know, yeah, the food-itis. So it was like in the third-ish quarter where I like fell asleep for a little bit. So the Chiefs game was pretty fun to watch, even though like there were some mistakes with some defense leaving certain people open. But I mean, you still won the game. So that's all that matters.
That's it.
And then I obviously knew maybe it was too good to be true to beat the Eagles and the Chiefs. And the Lions, like Reid said,
Mm-hmm.
the Lions are like, they pick and choose when they want to win a game. Not pick and choose, but,
Yeah.
whenever they want to wake up and play football. And they decided to play football that day. And I kind of figured, but I hope for a win this week. I feel like we could. I don't know.
I mean,
how
they
you
could,
feel.
yeah, for sure. I would pick them this week, and
Too bad they're not in the picks.
Well, yeah, because you don't want the curse, and
The curse is real. The curse is real.
like you said, to make the playoffs, there's obviously a chance they're still in the hunt, but the NFC is unfortunately extremely competitive this season, and you have a lot of good teams, especially just in that Packers-Lions division.
Yeah.
Where you have the Bears, the Packers,
All right,
the Lions right there.
What happened to the Bears?
NFC East is going to be tough. Well, not too
No.
tough now with Philadelphia continuing to drop games.
What?
So
It's the Trump curse.
there's a line to make the playoffs for Dallas, but you're going to need to win at least 3 of the last 4 games, and it's possible. This is a major one, Sunday night against the Minnesota Vikings. If they can win that one, continue on that path. Next week, it'll be the LA Chargers.
I don't know about that one.
That's the toughest game left on the schedule. After that, Christmas Day, you'll have the Commanders in D.C., and final game of the regular season, you will have the New York Giants in New York. It's possible.
I mean, it can be possible. If we win this week and against the Chargers, I mean, that Chargers, what was that one game that they went against where it was like an easy team? Oh, Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville has been pretty good.
Tough now.
Yeah.
And I think it's very real that you all
their ass
finish.
beat.
I think it's very real that the Cowboys finish with 9 wins. And it's possible that they win out and get with 10 wins. And in this NFC, it's still very possible to have 10 wins and miss the playoffs. And Jerry will freak out about that.
Jerry could go suck a fat one.
That's how they got the expanded playoffs before. Was Jerry Jones continuing to get pissed off about missing the playoffs even with like a 10-win record.
Well,
but overall, I think there's room for optimism and room for hope with the team. I'll be the first to admit I was wrong about Brian Schottenheimer.
Me too.
He's a good coach. He's a fun coach. Good leader of men, which is what you need for, your football team.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a great idea. That's not what I meant to say. I don't think it's good when you have coaches that shit on the team and organization, even though they're probably not, but like the Jets,
right?
With Justin Fields, like I feel for them. It's like last year with Bryce Young. They sat him out because he wasn't good. The first 4 games, or you gotta give it time. Just give it time.
Yep. Well,
and if you're a good motivator, they're gonna want to play good.
Yep.
That's just my opinion, but I don't know. Probably in the professional world, it's a little cutthroat.
Cutthroat. The theme of the day.
Cutthroat.
From Diddy to Dallas. Yeah.